This video is on question 33 of the 2012 TSA paper. And in this question we're asked which option, if true, most strengthens the argument. And this is the passage that we're given. So we're first told that researchers who are studying the effect of diet on health sometimes used randomized intervention trials. One group, the intervention group, is told to eat healthier, while the other group, the control group, is told to eat as normal. And at the end of the trial, the health of the two groups can be compared. The author then says that the results of these trials can be misleading, because as they go on, the intervention group find it hard to stick to their healthier diets, and so the diets of the two groups converge. And the author finishes by saying that we can't just make the trials shorter, because to get statistically significant results, the study must go on for as long as possible. So that's the passage, and what are we dealing with here? Well, in the first sentence, the author lays out the problem or issue under discussion, namely randomized intervention trials, and the author then gives a couple of facts about how these trials work. So it seems that we're going to find the conclusion of the argument in these last two boxes, in sentences 4 or 5. And we seem to find it in sentence 4 specifically. The conclusion of the argument seems to be that such results can be misleading, because this is what all the reasoning seems to stand in support of. And you might notice that the author also provides a reason in sentence 4 to back up the conclusion. And sentence 5 is just saying that this really is a problem. We can't just make the trials shorter, because then the results won't be significant. So we can see that sentence 4 is the sentence that contains the argument. And so it's on this sentence that we will focus. So here I've isolated sentence 4, and we want to work out what sentence 4 is actually saying. And it seems to be saying that the intervention group will become less healthy over time as they become less conscientious of sticking to their healthier diets. And this fact leads to the groups converging. The healthiness of the intervention group's diet becomes more and more like that of the control group. And this, in turn, means that the results mislead. So this is our argument, and we're going to look at some options now. So we're looking for the option which most strengthens this argument. So here we have our 5 options, and here we have our argument at the bottom here. So let's take each option in turn. Option A says that the control group often changes its diet in response to health information in the media. Now, it seems that the control group isn't going to read health information in the media and change its diet in response to become unhealthier. No, rather, it seems that if the control group is changing its diet in response to health information in the media, it is becoming more healthy. In other words, its diet is becoming more like that of the intervention group. And if we take a look back at the argument, we'll see that the groups converging is a crucial part of what the author is saying. Option A is supporting the idea that the groups will converge. And so option A seems to strengthen the argument. What about option B? This says that diets which are low in fat and high in fruit are known to benefit health. Well, we can tell just by looking at the argument that this isn't relevant. If anything, it's going to make those on the healthier diet, the intervention group, stick to their diet. And in that case, it would weaken the argument. And so B certainly doesn't strengthen it. What about option C? This says that the intervention group knows that the changes in diet can benefit their health. Well, if they know this, then they're less likely to become less healthy over time. And so this part of the author's argument is weakened. So C doesn't strengthen the argument. Looking at option D now, this says that some people have an inherited tendency to suffer from, for example, colon cancer. Now, this doesn't affect the author's discussion of randomized intervention trials. These trials are random because it is decided based on randomness which person should go in which group. And so inherited health problems are accounted for. And so D isn't relevant. What about E? This says that researchers account for smoking and exercise when interpreting the results of these randomized intervention trials. And again, we can tell that this is irrelevant just by looking at the argument. If anything, it actually weakens the argument because it means that the results are less likely to mislead. In any case, option E certainly doesn't strengthen the argument. And that leaves option A as the only option which strengthens the argument.